Hi, my beautiful emerald, and welcome to Mum to Millionaire. If you want to get motivated, you want to finally take action, and you want a place where people are just telling the truth about what it is like to be a mum, to run a business, then you've come to the right place. Thank you so much for checking us out. And I've just realised I always call you like my beautiful emeralds, but I don't think no one really understands what that means. Emerald is all about that sign of hope, because if we don't have hope, what have we got? So that's why I call you my beautiful emeralds. Today we're going to talk about stop looking in the past and stop living in the past. I think so many of us that have maybe been through a specific challenge, or things have happened to us, it's like we keep looking back, and by looking back we're not living in the present, and we're not getting excited and enjoying what the future can hold. So I really want to just have a little chat with you. Look, I've got my little cup of tea today, so we can have a chat and talk. And I just want to say to you that you are amazing. Like, I've just come back from the school run, and I just sat here and I was like, it's so difficult to be a mum. We do not give ourselves enough credit. My son was making himself sick in the morning because he didn't want to go to school. And it's such a shame, because I don't know if you've watched my previous videos or listened to my previous podcast, but I've had a really difficult 4 years. Actually, if I'm really honest with myself, a really difficult 8 years, he's 8, with my son. But loads have been going on in school, and I'll leave, links on the blog posts and down below in this YouTube video for videos that you might want to watch about that. It hasn't been easy, but this last month, he has been like a different child. He has been amazing. Like, he's been staying on green in school. He's been getting sticker certificates, and I'm just like, yes, that is my son. And then something happened a few weeks ago, a personal thing in our lives that I might talk about in the future, but it's a bit too raw to talk about now. And it's like we went 10 steps back, and that was nothing to do with me and my son. That was an external factor that it just felt like we went 10 steps backwards. And even in that, this is why it's so important that we need to work on our mindset. Because Veena, 2 years ago, I would have been crying about what happened every day, and it would have been affecting me right now. But because I've been working on my mindset, because I'm like, do you know what? I can't control things that happen to me, but I can control how I respond to them. So I made the necessary steps to respond in not an angry way, but respond in a very, I'm trying to explain a situation without me telling you what happened, but the point is, you have the power to respond to something how you want to respond to it. If someone's done something to you and you respond angrily, you get overly upset, you start thinking about that thing constantly, guess what's going to happen? You are just going to be living that situation. You haven't responded to it in the way you should be. Okay, let's think about this. When you get angry with someone, even if it's your child, does any good ever come out of that? When my son is messing around and I shout, and I know I'm very small, but I can shout very loudly. When I shout at him and I get angry and frustrated, has that ever helped the situation? No, it hasn't. I just got my anger out, but that is it. It doesn't improve the situation at all. So just start thinking about that, how you respond to situations. And even just the past, use your past as fuel to push you forward. Don't use it as throwing a pity party for yourself and being like, oh, poor me, I was in a abusive relationship, or poor me, my son's doing this, or poor me, I'm a single mum. And I'm not gonna lie, in the past I have done that before, where I'd be sat on the floor in my son's bedroom just crying about my life for months. This went on for years, where I'd just be crying constantly and getting depressed. But guess what? Fair enough, with me crying, I was letting out my emotions, and I do believe we have to let our emotions out. But did my life progress when I was doing that? It didn't. So stop living in the past, but use it as your fuel to push yourself further, because it's important that we do once in a while look behind us and say, do you know what? I've achieved so much. Look where I was. Now look where I am. It might not be at the speed that you want to go, but you're amazing. So pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a high five for getting through what you've got through. And if right now you're listening to this and you're currently going through something, you can get through it. If people like me, if other women or dads or mums around you have got through it, you can as well. I promise you 100%. Whatever you're going through, there's been people that have been through exactly or very similar to what you've been through and they got through it. And I want you to use this analogy. Imagine a fire, okay? Because what is motivation at the end of the day? And why do so many people not use their past experiences to motivate themselves, to fuel themselves, to keep pushing forward? So think about motivation as a fire. Okay, so we've got a lovely, imagine ourselves in this beautiful, imagine we're in a cottage right now, my millionaire cottage. We've got a lovely fire there with these logs in. Motivation is that log. When something happens to us, you put that log in the fire and it's burning that fire. That is what is fueling you. It's pushing you forward to keep on achieving what you want to achieve. But at some point, that fire gets dimmer and dimmer and eventually goes out, because that motivation in that moment of when we're specifically angry with someone or something's happened, that is the motivation that keeps us going at that point. But then sometimes it dwindles down. And this is why it's so important to have a why. So imagine there's a log in the fire that is always there and is always burning, because that is your why. That is your purpose. So even though I've been through things like depression and an abusive relationship, and the specific people that I look at and I think, wow, I do not want my life to be like that. That kind of gives me the burst of motivation, that one log you throw in the fire and it burns for a while. But that log in my fire that is always burning is things like my parents. I look at them and I think, wow, they are amazing people. They've done so much for me. Even when I got pregnant at the age of 21, they were so supportive. I was going to have an abortion and they were like, no, Veena, move back home and we will help you. That's amazing, because I know so many parents wouldn't have done that. They would have just freaked out and shouted. Yes, obviously my parents are very disappointed in me, but that is what keeps my fire burning, is when I think about people like my parents, because I think, do you know what? I just want them. Every time I talk about my parents, I get emotional, which is so annoying. But, I just want them to be proud of all my achievements. And it's the same thing when I look at my son. I think, do you know what? I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm doing this so he's got a really good role model in his life, so he will never give up on his dreams either. This is why I have different YouTube channels, because I always get emotional when I talk on Mum to Millionaire, on the podcast, on this YouTube channel, and I just end up getting emotional, so I apologise. If you've never watched my other YouTube channel, I don't cry there. That is pure, educational value for you. If you want to get more confident with making your own YouTube videos, go over there and watch that. youtube.com/official Veena V. But anyway, we're going off the point here. So motivation, use it. Think of it, like I just said, as that fire, okay? You need spikes of motivation, and that's what motivational videos are for. It's like you'll watch them and you're like, yeah, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to take over the world. But after a few hours, after you've watched that motivational video, you just fall back into your normal life. That is why you need constant motivation and inspiration, okay? So that's the past. Use it to push you forward. Present moment, please never forget about this. we need to be enjoying this present moment, okay? Even if you come on YouTube and watch a video, really watch it, really feel it, really connect with that person that's delivering a message or teaching you something. It's so easy to come on YouTube and have it playing in the background, but you're doing a million other things. It's like when you're doing something, do it. Like, focus on that one thing, give it all you've got, really take in that information and be happy. We are all so concerned about the future. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, which is great. And we'll come on to the future in a minute. But if we're so concerned about what's going on in the future, we're not living this present moment. We're not enjoying life. This is what life is all about. It's all about being happy. If you've not done something today in your life that has made you happy, go and do it right now. It could be something so simple like getting a cup of tea and reading a book for 10 minutes, watching your favorite program. For me, it sounds strange, but when I'm creating something, when I'm making a video, it's like, a therapy session for me. But on a serious note, it's also, I'm getting this creative stuff out of me. And if I'm not creating, if I'm not doing a podcast, a YouTube video, going to interview someone, I don't know, making something, I'm not happy. This is what lights me up. What lights you up in your life, and do it. It could be sewing. It could be going for a jog. It could be talking to your best friend on the phone. You need to do stuff every day that makes you happy. And the future, do a dream board. Write something down, print loads of pictures of things you want in your life, and use that as motivation again. Use that as inspiration to keep going. You can't give up on your dreams. So many people give up on their dreams. And for me, do you know what? I'm going to keep going. Until the day I die, I will never give up on what I want to achieve in my life. And there's so many things I want to achieve. It's that financial freedom. And I know this is called Mum to Millionaire, but do you know what? I want to be a multi-millionaire. Not in terms of just saying, oh, I'm a multi-millionaire, but in the sense that it gives you that financial freedom. What does a millionaire mean? For me, it means having enough money that it does not affect my daily life. So I can pay my mortgage off. I can go and buy another property, which will create another stream of income. If I wanted to go to Spain at the weekend, when my son comes home on Friday from school, I can be like, do you know what? Let's go on an aeroplane and go to Spain for 2 days. That is what being a millionaire means to me. So really be clear. What do you want your future life to look like? And everyone's idea of being happy, being a millionaire, whatever it is different. If your dream is to get married and have 2 more children and have a mortgage-free house, do that. You don't have to look at other women and think, oh, well, wow, they're really ambitious and they want to run a multi-million-pound business. You don't have to do that. Do what you want to do. It's very simple, and write it down. Do a dream board. And if you don't know what a dream board is, it's just literally sticking pictures of things you want in your life, and that could change. Right now, you might want that massive house. In a year's time, you might be like, I don't even want a big house. I'm very happy with having a detached house in a residential area. Like, just do what you want to do, okay? I really hope this video has helped you. If it has, please do subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the podcast yet or this YouTube channel, please do, because it just makes a huge difference. And I will see you next week. Oh, I'm so excited. Dad season is coming up. Okay, we have got a fitness entrepreneur. We've got a dad who used to be a builder for until the age of 46. And now at the age of 48, he's a photographer, amazing photographer. Dad season is on the way, because we always have a lot of mums, obviously, on the Mum to Millionaire podcast. But I want to get the other side of the coin. Like, what is it like to be a dad running a business? So that is coming up. I can't wait for you to see that, to hear that. And if you want to go and take a course of mine, make sure you go over to mumtomillionaire.com/training. I've got loads of different courses you can take on YouTube, how to make your own YouTube videos. And I've got a really special course coming up really soon about how to be positive, things like this, how to stay positive, how to stay motivated, and just how to get through challenges that you've been through. So head over to there if you want to check out any of that stuff. I love you so much. Keep being an emerald, live in hope, and I will see you right here next week on mumtomillionaire.com.
mumtomillionaire.com. Excel in business and life. Be a go-getter.